Hi guys, so we're back on the auction hall stuff again, and we've got this Oyster 8 pocket terminal. I believe that is exactly what it says on the tin. It's a pocket RS232 terminal. It looks like we've got all the keys we'd expect here, and we have an RS232 port here. I don't see any way of getting this power, so I don't know if this works or not. Maybe that's what this is here. Maybe this is a 5 volt supply. It says plus 5 volts. Where would we get our ground from then? Probably from the serial port, I guess. So, what pin would be ground if you were a ground? Bear with me. Right, I'll get a 5 volt power supply in a minute, but I think we should open this up and see what's in it. I'm not expecting it to be anything really exciting or groundbreaking in here, if I'm honest. Let's just grab the appropriate screwdriver bit, make sure it fits. These screws look like they've had a hard life. I don't want to go too medieval on them. Curiously enough, going back into the days of VT100s, VT220s and some of the serial kit I used to work with and be involved in construction of, I would have killed for something like this, because it would have made my life so much easier than having to use, what would we using? Occasionally we used Hyperterminal, but normally we were in DOS. I have a feeling it might have been a program called Terminate, used with fossil drivers to do it. But this would have been much easier than carrying around the whole PC and everything else. Are we in? Something doesn't feel very out. That one definitely is. Oh, they're long. They're out. They are long screws. They're obscenely long screws. That one definitely was out. Quick search on the net for this. Really doesn't show anything. It's quite obviously something that has been out of production for some time. It looks like we've got to do something with these, possibly. But the models that are visible on the net don't bear any resemblance to this. I feel that we need to do something with these, but I don't know what. Ah, okay. That's very Cyan 3-like. Yeah, we've got like little data adapter leads. That's very much like the old Cyan 3. Does that help us any? The screws have to come out. Let's get those out of the way. And then it slides. There we go, we're out. Well, Oyster 8 issue B. To be completely honest, there's not really anything in here I didn't expect to see. What have we got microcontroller wise? We have an 80C154 by Intel, which is copyrighted 1980. I don't think this is 1980. There's too much surface mount in here. S8N10 8 line is the ROM. 93, 92, 92, 95, don't believe that. 92. Yeah, I'd say about 1992. So we have pointy stick, screwdriver will do. Let's centre this up. Where's my sticker? There we go. So we have, from what I can tell, RS232 transceiver. That's an RS232 transceiver as well. So there's probably various ways you can make these modules up to do what you need to do. There's no battery in here, so power is obviously coming from the host. And then up here we have, can't remember what, Number is familiar, but I can't remember what it is. PCD582D. We have our processor, we have some glue logic, we have our EEPROM, we have a tiny, I'm sure that's RAM, SC17661, I'm sure that's RAM. It might not be, and obviously I don't know if there's anything on the other side of this board. So, to be fair, we've got a micro, a ROM, a tiny little bit of RAM, and that appears to be it. Do we come off without destroying things? Zoom you out again. Yep, there are connectors just under there, and oh really? Not the way I would have done it. Oh, that's fragile. We've actually got bomb wires. We've actually got solid wires over to the keyboard matrix. That's new and exciting. So we've got nothing on the back there, and that is a run-of-the-mill Hitachi display, so that's nothing interesting either. Although matching it up again might be a challenge. There we go. Everything is solid, supported and retained. Obviously with this plastic being fairly thick and chunky, it's designed to take a bit of a battering. We've got a screw mount there. I would guess it would be reasonably water resistant. I wouldn't dunk it, but that's really all we can say about it. So I think, so we've also got this here Mark PS1, which is going to be a DC to DC converter. We've got what looks like a space for another one of these, so this would be whatever this other setup is. T1EL and some more devices there, so possibly we've got support for electroluminescent backlighting. There wouldn't have been LED backlighting when this was around. Right, let me go get my little 5-volt power supply and let's see if we can power it up. Right, so we have USB power bank, the easiest way of getting 5 volts over here, and we have a USB to barrel jack, and then we have some barrel jack screw terminals here. So I'm going on the basis that we have a terminal here marked 5 volts, and it's a very bent, very sad hook terminal. Well, that failed. Not quite sure what that was going past. Should we try that again? I think, given the state of this hook terminal, we'll just kill it. I suppose it makes sense, because if you think of a lot of things where you're messing around with UART ports, there's normally a voltage line there. I don't know if you'd be able to do TTL with this. Right, we need a ground somewhere, and I can't remember off the top of my head what ground is on RS232. I think that's the pin we want there. So let's pop our pod in. Of course, with no alignment on the case, it's slightly more difficult. Let's do that, and quickly. Okay, well, the USB power supply lit up, so something happened. So one would guess there must be a way of setting your serial parameters with this as well. Let's plug it in. Oh, that was better, and we'll turn that over. Something definitely happened there. Should we zoom you down? really quite hard. I don't know if you can see, but I have a cursor. Now, is there a setup or something? Is this quite literally just a dumb terminal? I would expect there to be a setup. The contrast is awful. You can just see, possibly, there's a flashing cursor up there. Let us grab some of the leftover really naff solid core cable from the TTI stuff, strip it, and jumper 1 and 2. Not 1 and 2, 2 and 3. As I said, it's a long time since I've done RS232 stuff. So yeah, that works. Can I get this without glare? It does what it says on the tin. But I'd expect there to be a way that you could set this up. Delete and space, shift. The trouble is there's no manual or anything available for this. Certainly not this version of it. So yeah, I don't know quite, zoom you out again, quite how you'd set this up, because you'd need to set the baud rate up and everything else. So we'll have a look inside this little pod thing in a minute. Let's just disconnect that, pop that over there, and we'll put the back on it. I think it will be useful. The fact that it's not self-powered, less so. I mean, I'm thinking of quickly changing 1 or 2 settings in one of our D-slams or one of the Versas, and without power that becomes slightly less useful. So there is obviously a specific use case they have in mind for this, but I'm not totally sure what it would be. It's a nice little unit though. Maybe I will just pop this one on the shop or something like that. I think I need to charge my batteries. But we've got some pinouts written on the back there in hand, which I've just noticed. It was built in Newport in Went. It's a nice unit, I really like it. Maybe we could have used a QWERTY layout on the front. It's not actually that heavy, I suppose. Again, adding power to it probably wouldn't be that hard. We've got these module cases here, and they appear to be empty, so maybe you could use one of the USB power bank boards to give you 5 volts. There's enough room to lose a LiPo in there, and you could do it that way, but you need a power switch as well. Let's just have a quick nosy in here. I don't expect there to be anything really interesting in there. I would imagine that there were different things available, or maybe there's like a proto block type setup in here. You could certainly use this for programming things like signs, and I suppose if you were using this with something like an Arduino, you could have your user interface and everything all done on there. So we've got a cord grip on there on the top and the bottom. And that really is all that's in there. There's just a Berg header there that's held in position by this, and some cables, so there's really not much in there either. So yeah, there's that. Yeah, actually now I think about it, maybe on programming something like an Arduino or some LED signs, it could be useful. If you're using it with something that you've designed, then obviously you can make sure that it gets its power through that port. I suppose you could put a DC jack or a USB jack on this as well. That would be another way around that. But yeah, there you go. Anyway, don't forget to mash that subscribe button and turn the bell on. And thank you for watching. Bye. So I'm getting set up to film the Chaz 68000 proto board, and I'm just I've had a quick look at it, and I'm just getting these flight boards that came with it powered up to get some comparative signals off of the 68000. I had no reason to believe that these didn't work, and they do. And I thought I would give the old terminal a quick fire up as well. This is Saturday's video, portable RS232 terminal, and I thought it was fitting that we should at least power it up. Where are we? And give it a go with one of these. It's not really usable, and we'll be using a laptop, but yeah, these work, or at least appear to. That works, and I think we're getting closer to giving Chaz some volts. Take care.